UK arrests Nigerian worker for earning extra. The real reason shocked many. They come to the United Kingdom chasing a dream of stability, of better pay, of opportunity. But sometimes, in the quiet corners of that dream, reality whispers something far more dangerous, that a single mistake can take it all away. Recently, a Nigerian care worker in the UK was arrested after being found working an extra job at a local car wash. For many, that news came as a shock. How can someone who simply wants to earn a little extra face arrest, detention, or even deportation? But the truth runs deeper than it seems, because in the UK, your visa is not just permission to work, it's a legal contract. And when that contract is broken, the consequences can be life-changing. Before we continue, if you're new here, this is UK Immigration Express, your trusted voice for real UK visa updates, immigration news and Home Office policy changes that matter to you. We break down what's really happening in the UK immigration system. No rumors, no confusion, just facts. So, if you care about your stay in the UK, hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, and let's keep you informed and protected. Now, let's get into this case. UK arrests Nigerian worker for earning extra. The real reason shocked many. The man was reportedly employed under a health and care worker visa sponsored by a registered employer. During his free time, he picked up shifts at a local hand car wash, earning cash to support his family back home. But that second job was not authorized under his visa. It wasn't in the same sector, not at the same skill level, and it wasn't a role listed on the UK immigration salary list or shortage occupation list. That one decision, to take a cash job outside the terms of his visa, led to his arrest. UK immigration enforcement officers traced the unregistered workplace after a compliance visit, and though he had been careful, even working quietly and privately, the system caught up with him. It always does. It might sound harsh, but this is the reality many migrants never hear about until it's too late. Let's slow down for a moment, because what happened next reveals how strict the system has become. The Home Office has intensified immigration enforcement operations in recent months. Between July and October 2024 alone, over 2,000 people were arrested for illegal working in the UK, the highest level since before the pandemic. Teams have been visiting hundreds of businesses, from restaurants to small shops, construction sites, and car washes. Even in cases where workers are paid cash in hand, digital trails, tip-offs, and business compliance checks make it easy for UK immigration officers to find out who is breaking the rules. Once identified, both the worker and the employer face penalties. Employers can be fined up to £60,000 per illegal worker. And for migrants, the punishment can mean losing their visa entirely and being detained for removal. And here's where the story spreads. Not just across headlines, but through WhatsApp groups, community forums, and late-night phone calls between friends. The care workers' stories spread quickly through migrant WhatsApp groups and social media pages, raising fear and confusion among others who often work extra hours to make ends meet. Many people in the health and care sector struggle with the UK cost of living crisis, rising rent, transport fees, and money to send home. So taking an additional shift feels like survival, not crime. But UK immigration law doesn't see it that way. The law is black and white. Under the health and care worker or skilled worker visa, you may only take a second job for up to 20 hours per week, and only if that job falls within the same occupation code or is listed on the UK immigration salary list. Anything outside that is a breach of your visa conditions. This might seem small, but in the eyes of the law, every small act builds a big risk. So why is the government so strict about this? The reason these rules exist is not purely about control. The Home Office argues it's about protecting the integrity of the UK visa system, ensuring that every sponsored worker is doing the job they were brought in to do, not displacing local workers or undermining labor standards. Whether or not you agree, enforcement has become serious business. Every time an employer-sponsor license is reviewed, they are reminded of the duty to report any sign that a migrant employee may be working elsewhere. And once that report is filed, the chain reaction begins. A compliance officer investigates, cross-checks tax records, or visits the workplace. If a breach is confirmed, the visa can be cancelled instantly, and any future immigration application will carry the mark of non-compliance. For the Nigerian worker, sources said it began with a small decision. A friend introduced him to the car wash, who offered weekend shifts, £50 a day, cash. It helped him pay bills and still send money home. But one evening, during a routine check in the area, immigration enforcement officers questioned the staff. When he couldn't produce a right-to-work document for that specific job, his details were flagged. Within days, his sponsor was contacted. The outcome? Arrest, detention, and pending removal. Some may call it harsh, others call it the rule of law. But whichever side you stand on, the result is the same. A life plan suddenly rewritten. And as the news spread, a wave of questions followed. Questions every migrant in the UK must start asking themselves. And here lies the painful irony. Many migrants take pride in following every rule, paying taxes, showing up for work, contributing to the system. But even a small misunderstanding or a desperate choice can undo years of effort. The UK doesn't excuse ignorance. I didn't know is not a defense in immigration law. It is your responsibility to know the conditions of your stay. The Home Office's stance is clear. Your visa is a legal permission for a specific purpose, not a blanket pass to work wherever you wish. For most people watching this, the lesson is crucial. The Home Office has confirmed that UK immigration enforcement will continue to focus on sectors with high rates of cash-in-hand work: car washes, cleaning services, nail bars, and hospitality. They are using new data matching technology with HMRC and local councils to spot unusual work patterns. That means even if your second job isn't visible on paper, it could still surface through tax inconsistencies or anonymous reports. Once detected, the process is swift: detention, visa curtailment, and removal notice. And the worst part? A breach like this could permanently affect your future visa applications or your eligibility for indefinite leave to remain, ILR. It's understandable why so many migrant workers fall into this trap. The UK cost of living crisis has squeezed everyone, especially care workers. Research by the Resolution Foundation and the BBC shows that some migrant carers earn less than £11 an hour while working long shifts, and many send remittances home to families who rely on every penny. When you're living on tight margins, that extra £100 a week feels like survival. But when the Home Office checks your records and finds that extra, it can cost you everything. The sad truth is that the story of this Nigerian worker is not isolated. UK immigration enforcement reports dozens of similar cases every month. From a Ghanaian cleaner found working 2 jobs in different care homes without proper authorization, to an Indian driver caught moonlighting as a delivery rider on weekends. These small acts of hustle often end with revoked visas. Even when employers mean well, if they fail to verify the right-to-work status, they too face massive penalties. That's why you'll often hear managers say, "Sorry, we can't pay cash. It's not personal, it's protection." But this is not just about fear. It's about awareness. The safest path forward is to know your rights and limits. If you want to take a second job, contact your sponsor first. If the job is in the same field, for example, you are a care worker taking an extra shift in another care home, check that it fits the occupation code. If it does not, apply for a variation of conditions through the Home Office before starting. It's a slower route, yes, but it keeps your record clean. If you're unsure, consult a licensed immigration advisor. The advice might cost you £50, but losing your visa could cost your entire future.
Let this story be a warning, not judgment. Many migrants are doing their best, and most of them are following the law. But mistakes happen when people are uninformed or misled by others promising easy money. Remember, in the UK, even one unauthorized job can be recorded as working illegally. Once that tag exists, it can follow you for years, even if you later qualify for other visas or ILR. The immigration system is built on data, and that data never forgets. So before you accept that quick cash offer, pause and think. Ask yourself, is this worth my visa? Because the truth is, it never is. The system may look rigid, but it rewards compliance. Every month you stay within the law, every payslip under your sponsor, every correct tax filing, it all counts towards your credibility when you apply for permanent residence in the UK. Risk it once, and all that effort could disappear in a moment. The arrest of this Nigerian worker has sparked anger and sympathy, especially among the African and Asian migrant communities who see themselves reflected in his struggle. They understand the weight of responsibility, supporting families back home, surviving high rent, long hours, and cultural adjustment. But the message coming from the UK government is equally clear. Rules are rules. You can't break them, even with good intentions. As this story fades from the headlines, its lesson remains that survival must not come at the cost of your future. Working within the law may feel limiting, but it's the only path that leads forward. If you're a migrant in the UK today, protect your visa like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. And once again, this is the story behind the headline, UK arrests Nigerian worker for earning extra. The real reason shocked many. If this story opened your eyes, don't just scroll away. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. It might save them from losing everything they've worked for. Subscribe now to UK Immigration Express for the latest UK visa updates, immigration news, and home office policy changes across the UK. Together, we'll keep you informed, empowered, and one step ahead of the system. Until next time, stay safe, stay compliant, and stay prepared.